Hey everyone, it's the mighty Lord Ungerman myself. Today I'm just going to go over my bigger pack, the one that I usually bring for whole day expeditions or anytime I plan on cooking something and just chilling for a while. So I'll find a spot here in the moss and we'll lay her out and take a gander. Ungerman, where'd you run off to, buddy? Let's go up to this magnificent tree. Nice and swampy in here. It's been raining for about the last week pretty straight. Oh yes, this should do nicely. All right. What we have here is a 1998 Black Hawk Patrol Pack. It's a copy of a Becker Patrol Pack made by Eagle Industries. And I've had it since 1998, since I was doing Army stuff, but it's never been on trips like that except for as just luggage. This is my pack I use for anything up to include a couple days out in the woods. The only real thing it needs to actually go overnight is a blanket of some sort and a blanket, sleeping bag, and a sleeping pad. So let's just start with the outside pockets. First aid stuff. First aid kit, cold compress. That's all that's in there. This, in case I decide to build something, Crown Royal bag of large galvanized nails, well, various size nails, and one of these gadgets wrapped in wax cotton. Gives me an additional fire starter. I've had limited use for this thing so far, but I'd like to get some use out of it, so I carried it around to give me that option. I just think I did that backwards. That's all right. Come on. All right. Let's slow down and pay attention to what we're doing. Haste makes waste, or some other ancient slogan. Alright. Now I've got something rattling around in here. I'm pretty certain I don't have my cleaning sponge in my cook set. Okay, this bucket right now is empty. It did have a silicone nylon tarp in it for years. Till I whipped that silicone nylon tarp out the other day and it's got holes all in it, so it's useless. So it has been replaced by an actual old school heavy duty canvas, which is right here. And this is super heavy duty sportsman guide stuff. See, here we have toilet paper. The Sawyer mini water filter, the same one was in my other pack, so not much to show there. Nice small thing. Does a lot of, supposedly does a lot of work. Still haven't had a chance to use it because I still carry water out with me everywhere I go. What's going on over there, Uncle? Here we have homemade toilet paper roll fire starters. And the more heavy duty kit, just like my last one, it's got pretty much the same stuff in it. Magnesium fire starter, survival storm matches, a bunch of fat wood, some, I think this is a gauze pad covered in wax, and a couple little candles. All right. This pouch here, canteen. Swiss canteen with cup. The belt, Pistola, reload for Pistola multi-tool. This particular multi-tool, SOG power pliers, it's been my favorite since I started using multi-tools. It's a great multi-tool. You can actually get some leverage with it because it's got the geared chinkaderas on it. I think that's Spanish for thingamajig. All right. Uh-oh. In the top flap, I have a ton of bungee cords. That's what I like setting up my tarp with. It's fast, it's easy, and then I don't have to learn 99,000 different ridge lines that people like doing. Never did really understand that. Oh, there's a flashlight on the shoulder strap, just because it will go on there. So I'll just have a backup shoulder strap. Okay, inside the sack, here is my cooking kit. It's in an old, like, Vietnam era first aid bag. Let's get into it. It's a pretty cool little bag. It's got all kinds of features on it. This pouch has coffee, just a generic seasoning salt, kind of allspice deal. Not allspice, you know what I mean. And then here's some cut down, I'm trying to remember where I got these. Were part of a Yugoslavian mess kits, which I'm going to show you later in a canteen video. More candles, just to prolong fires, get stuff going. I need to switch out my coffee with instant coffee. Doesn't taste as good, but I don't really care. I have. This is an idea I came up with. We're not sure how good it is. It's a cup of rice. So I know it takes 2 cups of water for a cup of rice, and it's got a ramen seasoning pack in there mixed in with the rice. So that I got vacuum sealed rice. I got 2 cups of flavored rice. And I think this is a 7-bean blend, so I can make beans. So I mean, just about anything I could kill out here and eat. I could make fish and beans. I could make, you know, clams and beans, whatever. It's food. I don't have a jet boil or anything like that. I have a couple little stoves, but I usually don't carry them. I usually just make a stove out of rocks. This is my what they call a billy can. And this is what was rattling on the way in here, because I usually keep a sponge in here to clean it with, and I don't know. Oh, here's the sponge right here. It was stuck in the lid. It wasn't doing its job. Oh, we have a glorious can of smoked salmon. This is some of the best smoked salmon on the market. And a can of butter. Now, if you have a can of butter, there's very few things you cannot consume out here in the woods if you can get some butter on it and some seasoning salt. Ungram, come here, boy. Come here. Don't be defiant, Lord Lundgren. All right, let me pack this in so it's not rattling all the way back like it was all the way here. But this is just a modified sugar tin. I put a bail on it, and if you bend the lids for these things just right, if you warp them a little bit, then they fit on there really tight. Got another thing of rice. Any utensils I need, I usually just carve. Oh, I got another little, I had some scales pop off this Swiss Army knife, so I just decided to keep it as an ultralight Swiss Army knife. It's a Victorinox, what is it, a camper or something? Doesn't really matter. But yeah, I've liked this little kit. I've got a little bit of use out of it. But things have changed. COVID changed people's outlook, I think, on the world in a very negative way. Grub. Am I gonna have to go hunt down Lord Ungram? Yeah, you don't know. All right. In the bottom of this here bag. Well, not quite the bottom. This is a waterproof bag. Now, I bought these. It said the size of them. I got a couple of them. These are former Marine issue, I believe. They're they're made by Seal Line. They have this little valve on them. I should have got the smaller size because this thing could line an army duffel bag. That's how big it is. But what I keep in here is just, you know, emergency get warm gear, pretty much. I've got a fleece jacket, pair of nice socks, and upper and lower polypropylene long underwear. This is good stuff. Really good stuff, actually. The thing what I wanted these bags for is so you could smash them. I hated the old Seal Line bags. Now, hate's kind of a strong word. I didn't like them because you couldn't get the air out, which I thought was ridiculous. Ungram! I'm gonna have to go track Ungram down. He's being a villain today. And also this valve on it is so hard to turn. Which is why you have one of these. I don't know why it's so hard to turn. Doesn't make a great deal of sense. I should have done that the other way. Last but not least, survival blanket. Now, people say these are worthless, they don't last long, and this one is beat up, tore up. But I was issued this thing in 1994. It's been on every trip I've been on since 1994. Sometimes it's a ground pad. Pad's the wrong word. Sometimes it's a ground sheet. Sometimes it's the tent over my head. It doesn't really matter. This thing will save your life. Matter of fact, if I ever go camping early in the season and I neglect to bring warm enough stuff, all I really have to do is throw that under my sleeping pad and I'm golden. There's a bunch of slots and stuff inside this. I don't use them because you can't, everything wouldn't be waterproof. It was all in the separate slots. So anything I want in here just goes in the waterproof bag and gets jammed down in there. And by jammed, I really mean jammed. I said this bag is 27 years old. It's been on a lot of trips. And the only damage it's ever suffered all that time was the very first time I used it. This came undone. But since that, I've run straps through there and carried sleeping bags and stuff. Pretty much the only addition to this, if I was going out on an overnighter, is sleeping bag and sleeping pad. And a bottle of whiskey. Oh, and I always have a cutting tool, some larger cutting tool. Cheap Collins axe. Actually found this on this beach last year. I made a little cover for it with a little, what do they call these things, ladder lock. But it's pretty straightforward little axe. It'll process firewood. That's all. They got all the bungee cords and the old school canvas and stuff. I don't really need to do much for building a shelter. I usually would use dead sticks anyway and weave little walls in, because I like having walls for some reason. But this is interchangeable with the other things I like bringing out, and you'll probably see those in later videos. I'm a big fan of large knives. The Hatchet crew like to talk smack, but who cares? I have large knives, and I have 12-inch machetes that I'll take and get yard sale machetes for like nothing, and they cut them down to 12 inches, clip the top of them, and they're really useful, especially in the summer when there's a lot of light foliage to deal with. You know, you can use them. It makes a great draw knife. I'm not a firm believer in it, but the statement that a large knife will do everything a small knife can do is kind of true. But it's like saying like a giant guy can do everything a small guy can do. But yeah, he can. But we lack a little bit of finesse doing stuff like that. Well, thanks for watching. For myself and the mighty Lord Ungram, who's wandering off. Ungram, there you are. Have a great day.